what is your program? What do you stand for? What is your morality? With everything that you do, what is your aim? What is all of it pointing to? The Tax Wall Street Party knows where we are pointing. We have taken direct aim at the banks and Wall Street to protect people. And that's my personal take and the party's personal take on what they did well. And in general, I would say Syriza shows the power of program and mass traction economic issues. It shows the power of a strong leader like Alexis Tsipras, who is in service to a program. I will see you next week, Webster.
Okay, Daniela, thank you so much, and you're absolutely right. Imperious necessity looms over us all, and it's a problem we've got to learn to solve, not dodge. See you next week.
See you next week.
Back in a minute on World Crisis Radio. January 30th of 2015. Stock market down after Greek finance minister told the Dutch finance minister to disappear, that Greece would only talk to national authorities, not to international entities, supranational entities. Now, let's look at a couple of war scares going on, right? This past week, Bibi Netanyahu is behind in the polls. Bibi is behind Lapid and Tipsy, we've always called her Tipsy Livni, Tzipi Livni. Netanyahu could lose. That's why he's insisting on this affront to Obama, coming here with no invitation. The Republicans showing, I think, a terrible lack of seriousness in this entire thing. But with Netanyahu behind, it looks like an orchestrated clash in the Sheba Farms area. Easy to get a clash there. And you'll remember that according to I think it's a Haaretz poll cited by France 24, 40% of Israelis think that the current increase in Middle East tensions between Israel and neighbors, that this is all deliberate, right? Killing the Iranian general and so forth. This is part of the Netanyahu scare campaign to get elected. So that's one. Ukraine, we've had a raving article from Soros, you can find it, demanding more actions against Ukraine, right? That sanctions regime could fall apart at any moment, thanks to a number of people, but most prominently Syriza at this time. The reason why the pro-Russian forces went on an offensive lately was incessant, constant Ukrainian shelling, and this means these fascist brigades that they have. The fascist forces of Kiev were constantly shelling and bombarding the pro-Russian positions, so they drove them off beyond any patience, and as a result, once you're counterattacking that, you might as well go all the way to Mariupol. So this is not of interest to the United States. This is part of the Russian sphere. We should butt out, not one dime, not one GI for the Kiev fascist clique. The derivatives forces, right? The finance oligarchs are in trouble in Trani, in southern Italy. That brave, exemplary, remarkable public prosecutor, district attorney Michele Ruggero, you recall he's getting after Moody's and Standard & Poor's. He just put out subpoenas to Mario Draghi, of the head of the European Central Bank, saying, you come here to Trani and we're going to depose you, right? You're going to have to answer questions under oath. Romney will not run for president. I'm so disappointed. I was hoping to sell more copies of my Just Too Weird book, but it was not to be. And the reason that Just Too Weird book is so important is that that's got the best rundown on how Rand Paul and Ron Paul operate, right? Nepotism and this entire fake campaign that we had. Now, Ron Paul, that notorious copperhead and doughface, is showing his true colors Here he is at a confab, and it's reported in the Washington Post, January 26th. A lot of times people think of secession, they paint it as an absolute negative, said Ron Paul. After all, the American Revolution was a kind of secession. You mean we should have been obedient to the king forever? So it's all in the way you look at it. Well, Ron Paul, you are stark raving mad. You're a traitor. That is treason, what you've just said. You're always prating about the Constitution. Hey, secession is not among the enumerated powers. What would Jefferson say? It's not an enumerated power. It's not in there. There's no provision for secession. So what are you talking about? And, of course, the idea is that this is now becoming an embarrassment to Little Rand, who said, a lot of those people on Social Security disability are fakers, right? They're gold bricks. They're trying to get money when they're not really sick. This is just despicable. And now maybe with Syriza in town, we can see what a good class-conscious, class-oriented orientation looks at. And, of course, the inevitable thing, they're wondering, why is Rand Paul such a sellout, right? Why is he such a disappointment? He's not as good as Ron. He's not as fanatic as Ron. He's on the make. So one guy says, maybe Rand Paul is pretending to be a neocon, and if he gets into power, he'll revert to libertarianism, a libertarian Manchurian candidate. So these poor, dumb guys, these dupes and gulls, are going to say, Rand Paul looks awful on the surface, but he knows what he's doing. He's going to come out of the closet as a real libertarian once he gets to the White House. They're talking about the seminar where he spoke, where Ron spoke, a one-day seminar in breaking away from the central state. What is this, Robinson Crusoe? This is crackpot stuff. This is lamentable. Now, the one thing I do want to point out, though, Obama can be bullied. And that's what I want to say. There's all kinds of news, right? Some positive. There's a lot of negative news, though, right? You gotta play this differentiated. Washington Post this morning, Friday, January 30th. Obama budget sets stage for spending fight. The idea being that Obama wants to toss out the Satan sandwich of 2011, get rid of those caps, get rid of the sequester, propose new capital gains taxes, new bank taxes, and, of course, the Republicans are already screaming it would break the sequestration orders. And the bait for the Republicans is, hey, Republicans, you, McCain, you're all screaming that the caps and the sequestration is destroying the Pentagon. You're right. But that's then, you can't just do the Pentagon. You got to get everybody made whole, everybody restored. So that's fine. At the same time, Obama and GOP leaders agree on the need for fast-track trade powers. No, never happened. Roll it back. No Trans-Pacific Partnership, nothing of the kind. Keystone Pipeline, hey, Obama, use that one as a bargaining chip. Pipeline, 750,000 miles of pipeline, much older, much more likely to leak than this one. I frankly don't see it. Right, the struggle against infrastructure is just a generally really bad thing. Right, from Beppe Grillo to the Jonglei Canal in Sudan, where the machine got blown up. So now let's consider what we know about Obama. Obama can be successfully bullied. Obama was planning to abolish the 529 plans. That is to say, it's a way to do a prepaid and tax favored, right? Tax, not exactly exempt, but I think it's a significant savings on taxes. With the tax break on these 529 college plans, Obama had said in the State of the Union he wanted to get rid of this tax break, but there was a hue and cry, and the White House has retreated. Now that means, dear friends, that if we get enough hue and cry, Obama could retreat on all sorts of things. Obama can be had. He's responding to public outrage on some of this stuff. So if the 529s can be saved, time to press for the Wall Street sales tax, time to press for no free trade, time to press for stop with the Russia sanctions and a number of other things. So, want to hear about the party, taxwallstreetparty@gmail.com. I'm at tarpley.net, tarpley.net.